Hi, I'm Casey Truby up here from the barn in Wyoming. You know, eventually, all planning eventually has to degenerate to work. Deming said that, I didn't invent it. And that's what we're doing up here a little bit today. We're getting some work done. But there's something that I wanted to just chat with you for a few minutes about. I had someone come over to our house yesterday. They were talking about business. They had a great marketing plan, and sales were screaming, but his cash flow just wasn't as good as he had hoped. And I asked him about sales reports and how he managed his process. Remember, I believe that every business should have business processes, systems in place, a marketing system, production system, and a finance system. Well, he was very good at production, and he was excellent at marketing. Matter of fact, he had a dashboard for everything. But when it came to actually controlling his money, figuring out where things were at, he told me about his low-cost bookkeeper who gave him reports at the end of the month for the previous month, but that he just couldn't seem to get a handle on what was going on. As a matter of fact, this guy was so good. Let's take a look at what he did here. Just as an example, he built systems to track how many leads he generated every day, how many sales calls came in, but he never figured out whether he's making money or not. So we wanted to talk to him for just a few minutes about how to be more successful in business, how to improve cash flow. I said, you know, what if you did this? What if every day when you woke up, you knew exactly whether you made money or not yesterday? And the reason we want to know that is because here's what happens. On the days we make money in business, we almost always are having fun. Pretty soon, if we think back about what did I do yesterday that made money or didn't make money, we start to train ourselves and focus on those things that we do successfully. We have more fun at work. But here's the interesting thing. The people that have the most fun make the most money. And so my question to this young salesman starting up his own business, why don't you focus on what you really love to do, because that's where the profit's at. The only way to figure this out, though, is to get that report every day. And he says, well, I get a profit and loss statement. I get it once a month. That's not enough. You need to know today, every morning at 9 o'clock, what did we do yesterday? What worked? And if you have this information, you'll notice that over the next 120 to 180 days, your business will completely turn into a cash cow. And remember, that's our job up here at the Business Ranch. I'm the lonesome cowboy. I round up cash cows. If you look at what's going on in your business every day, pretty soon you start doing those things that generate the most fun and generates the most cash. And you're running a cash cow. But there are a couple of other things you want to look at. Every morning at 9 o'clock for 5 minutes, we actually call this 5-minute books. I look at 5 critical numbers for 5 minutes at 5 minutes after 9. So every morning when you come in, not only do you want to look at just yesterday's profit and loss statement, but you also want to look at yesterday's sales report. Who made sales, who bought what, and of course, I like to index mine out of QuickBooks with sales by profit. What were my most profitable customers? What were the most profitable sales? You know, a lot of customers beat you up on price. They keep everybody busy. They keep the chaos going in a company, but they don't let you make any money. Well, so I don't want those people at the top of my most valuable customer list, or my most valuable salesperson should not be the one who's discounting. So sales by profit, that's a real simple thing to run out of QuickBooks, but I only want to know it for yesterday. Each day when I come in, I want to think about yesterday's sales. If you're going to have a good month is made by 30 good days, not one good day on the last day of the month. The third report that I want to look at every day is my accounts payables. And really what that boils down to is my expense report. I want to look at an expense report. Where did money go out yesterday? If I'm looking at the expenses, I'm constantly on top of what's happening in the company, and I'm constantly reminding everybody that works for me that we are not in business to throw money out the window. So every day I'm looking at that expense report just from yesterday. I look at an accounts receivable report every morning. This only takes a few minutes, but I want to stay on top of people that might owe me money. And it's ridiculous to let an accounts receivable go to 90 days, and here's the reason why. If somebody owes you money and they haven't paid you at 90 days, they're only going to pay you voluntarily 2% of the time. Well, that means 98% of the time they're not going to pay. And here's something else interesting that happens. When somebody doesn't pay you, they start thinking of all the reasons they don't like you. And so pretty soon it's not them that made the error by not having your bills paid. It's you that made the error, and that's why you didn't deserve the money anyway. So we want to be very, very cautious about letting accounts receivable get out of hand. Now, of course, if you're working with one of our accountants, we're going to explain to you that you should never even have accounts receivable. Sell everything on credit card if people need credit. Or what we like the most is subscription services, where we sell service for next week or next month and we bill it on the Friday next week, so that we're always paid in advance. And the fifth report that you want to look at every day is cash on hand. Cash is king in business. You can make every mistake in the world in a company except one: run out of cash. If you don't make payroll on Friday, you're not going to have a business on Monday. So let's still look at those 5 reports that you should look at every morning at 9 o'clock based on how you did yesterday. Yesterday's profit and loss statement, just a one-day profit and loss. Now I know that some days it's going to be way off because you had the rent or Friday was payroll, that sort of thing. But you'll figure that out. Every day, look at yesterday's profit and loss. Every day, look at your sales reports, not based on total sales, but total gross margins. Every day, look at your expense reports, your receivable reports, and your cash on hand reports. And over the next 120 to 180 days, I don't know how it happens, it just does, you'll become a cash cow. It's Casey Truby, Lonesome Cowboy. Let's keep that cash register ringing.